Hello, this is Judy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be making a layout from the Happiness Lives Here collection from Close to My Heart. And I'm showing the sketch that I used and the layout that Close to My Heart designed and what I am making with it. So, I always use a sketch. Well, not always, but I use a sketch as a starting point, or what Close to My Heart has laid out as a starting point, and just add my own take on it according to what my pictures have and what I want it to look like. So I hope you enjoy this. Here I am just going through all the papers I have and trying to kind of lay it out the way that little mini photo of the sketch looks like. And I decided to turn the sketch over so that my big piece, the blue piece, is vertical, sorry, to the layout. And here I pulled out some stamp sets to consider using on the layout, which unfortunately only one stamp made it, and you'll see that at the end. But here is the pennant banner stamp set, and it has these little thin cuts with it for the pennants, and it's so cute. I really like it, and as you can see, I only used the pennants to make this banner for the layout that was on the sketch, and I just made it my own with these, and I used the papers there. And as you can see, I layered 3 pieces of paper, ran it through my die cutting machine from Close to My Heart, and it cut all of them easy as pie. So I have all 3 of each paper with each die cut to make, what's that, 12? Yeah. Hopefully it'll be enough to use on the layout. We'll see. I just had to pry them apart because they all stick together once they're die cut like that. Now these pieces are going to be the vertical pieces alongside that main piece, and I needed to dovetail them. So what I do is I gently fold the paper in half and cut it that way. I have never had luck cutting it the way most people do, going from the middle up the middle and then from side to side. I just never get it right. So now I'm going to lay it out and see if this is what I like, and I really have struggled with how I had everything laid out, trying to make the layout match the sketch. So, make it your own. I don't have a problem with that, and I did that on this layout for sure. Now here I decided I didn't like all the white, so I wanted to replicate the barn look. So I'm going to use my ink pad and draw down the paper, and this is the Bluebell ink, and it will replicate the look of wood planks in the end. And on the finished layout, it looks really nice because a lot of it's covered up, but what isn't covered up looks like, a bluish gray wood. So you just drag it down, and you can see there it looks like the planks. And imperfections are good. They're a good thing, so make it imperfect. And now I'm going to use a ruler and draw some lines as the planks would be, and planks are straight, so thus a ruler comes in handy for that. And I just used the fine black journaling pen to draw these lines. And I'm kind of guessing where my pictures are going to be covering everything and not worrying about the space in the middle where it won't show. And the planks are uneven, so make them uneven too, and then you have to do your diagonal, or not diagonal, but your horizontal lines for where the planks would end. And when I've made other layouts this manner, I would also put little nails, draw a little circle and color it in for a nail head. But I didn't for this one because I figured they probably won't show. So, it's just another option. You do it if you want. If you don't, you don't have to. And I kind of geared the lines where the ink ended so that it looked like it was supposed to be that way. Okay, so now we're going to start adhering everything down. And I love using that Mono Aqua glue. And I fold the pieces together and make sure there isn't a lot of glue on the edges that will ooze out, as you can see there. And I know when I forget to do it, I have glue oozing out onto my fingers, and I'm always manipulating my fingers onto my pants or clothes, unfortunately. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. So now I decided the home doesn't really show up the individual letters onto that little brown background, so I inked the edges. And I think that was a cinnamon ink. And now I'm going to put them on with the glue and our tweezers. I love them. I wish we still had them. Alright, so now I'm going to lay out the pennant banner pieces and see if they all fit. And I'm trying to do a different shape with a different color, and so they're not like two yellow ones together or two triangles together. And also you didn't want blue on the blue, so I tried to manipulate it so it stood out as much as possible against the background. And I trimmed my pages, and that is a newspaper clipping of my horses, and it was a really nice picture, and they are both gone now, so I wanted to scrapbook their picture that they made in the paper. It was on the front page. And the pennant string, I'm going to try and use this sapphire embellishment thread, and oh my gosh, that stuff is so strong, and it kept the little fold marks in it. I tried with water and my bone folder to try and get it out, and it was difficult. The only thing I didn't try was heat, and that would be a next option. So here I'm showing how I do my little bows. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers and then go between the two fingers and then do a loop knot around it. And I do another one later on, so if you didn't catch it there, you can catch it later. My fingers are not the most useful with the arthritis in some of my knuckles, but if I can do it, I'm sure anybody else can, and they make really nice little bows. And I'm using cardboard to layer up that home piece, so you'll see that a little bit later. Here I put my pictures on mats that were Bluebell to coordinate with the layout and all the other pieces. The newspaper article I put onto white just in case, for whatever reason it might, I don't know with newspaper how archival it is, but I don't use a lot of the dry adhesive with it. That's why you saw me put the liquid underneath the corners just to adhere it down safely. And now I'm going to try and lay it out as best as I can. In the home, I'm just putting a little dry adhesive on it to stick it down to hold it, so I can put on my banner string and then the banners, and then I'll lift it back up and put that cardboard underneath it to give it a little more dimension and make it stand out a little bit more. Oh, here's that other knot. So you wrap it around your two fingers, go in between the two fingers above the thread, and be careful with those tweezers. Ouch, they could really injure me if I'm not careful. And then you come up around and through the loop and then pull it tight. And it works really well with this thread. It also works really well with the thin ribbon, and you can make it as many loops as you want. It's kind of the knot you make with a Bow Easy, but without the Bow Easy, your fingers are the notches that you would wrap it around. So I'm using liquid glue to attach these down, and now I'm going to put down the banner pieces. I thought it looked pretty good. I like how that came out. I'm going to put the home down, put the cardboard on it to give it that dimension that I talked about. And this is just, you know, packaging material. And I just cut it up instead of using the foam adhesive. It's free and it works. Never gets crushed. And here I'm dumping out all of my wood embellishments again with the wood theme, right? And just finding a couple of little things that would match. And I loved my horses and I really miss them. Bonsai we lost in a tragic accident, and Jazzy the pony, she went to live at a home and taught lessons to many children. But that's our little puppy Boozer, we called him, because he wobbled when he walked. He was just an adorable little hound dog. And the wood I'm attaching with liquid glass because that seems to hold it really securely and dries fast. Now I'm looking through my date stamps that I have to see if I can find a date from way back when this was, 1995, and I didn't. So I just picked one that said date and had a box, and you'll see it there. And that worked out well, and I just filled it in with a random number. No, the newspaper was in May, so that's what I put. And then I wrote a little note about Boozer and the calf shed that my father-in-law had up at his house. It was a new calf shed he tried, and it was pretty cool. And then the horses. And of course the writing from the newspaper is right there on it to help my journaling. So we're about done here. And you'll see close-ups of the layout and the sketch, and there it is, the page that was originally by Close to My Heart. And next I will be doing the companion page to this, so join me on my next video. Thanks.